That's what it's coming down to, where people, they had a 4,000 square foot home, but one of the biggest things they told me is the amount of money it takes to manage that house and to keep up with the updates. People are like, how can I get a new house that doesn't cost me my whole lifetime saving that I've saved up for 40 years working at a job? The myth is where people get lost is thinking that it's too small. You just have to be more efficient of where you put everything, and it's actually becoming more affordable. And I'm seeing a lot more people making this shift because it's better quality of life. The truth is, we've been conditioned certain way. Now I'm seeing it come in where modular housing, where they're looking modernized, they're efficient, they're smaller space, they're cathedral ceilings, you're getting everything that you want, and you're saving a lot of money along the way.
It just helps production out back know exactly what your change orders are.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Tiny Home Podcast, powered by Saddlebrook Live. Today we got an amazing episode. You're going to want to follow along. It's about tiny homes, it's about modular housing, and everything that's happening in the world. And I've got Colton, my brother, the CEO of Saddlebrook, on with us today. Welcome, Colton. Let's get into it.
Thank you for having it. It was been a good break, but we're back shooting another episode. And today's topic is why people think the size of it is, when they look at a tiny home or they think about a modular home, they realize, oh, it's smaller than we want. We want bigger. We need more space. We need this. We need that. And so today we're going to talk about why size isn't the problem with the Saddlebrook homes that we produce. And so we're going to jump right into it. That's one of the number one things that when customers come in here, oh, it's not big enough. And so Kyler, when you're talking to a customer, go over that journey of how are you with a customer going over that?
Yeah, let me go over a real scenario. We had a customer come in. They brought their daughter with them, and we started talking about their story of, where they grew up, how they grew up, and they started talking about, where they're at now, where they're taking their life into, moving into a smaller home. Right now they're currently living in a 4,000 square foot home, and they just downsized to a 1,200 square foot home. Most people are like, hey, that's a big jump from 4,000 to all the way down to 1,200 square feet. But as we kept on talking, it's like, hey, why would you want to go into that? Because we're starting putting all these, still a 2-bedroom, I think it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that they downsized to, and they wanted a better quality of life. That's what it's coming down to, where people, they had a 4,000 square foot home, but one of the biggest things they told me is the amount of money it takes to manage that house and to keep up with the updates of saying things are breaking down. Because what's happening is the older housing, you're having to do new updates. You're having plumbing breakdown all the time, electrical breakdown all the time, because these houses are getting old. But it's not like it used to be, where electrical and plumbing, it was easy to change it out. It was affordable. Now it's not affordable anymore. So people are like, how can I get a new house that doesn't cost me my whole lifetime saving that I've saved up for 40 years working at a job? And that's what I'm seeing now, is people are coming in. They've been living in a 2,000 to 4,000 square foot home. They're wanting to downsize and say, hey, this is better for my family. This is better so I can take care of my grandkids. I can go on vacation and I can live a good quality of life where I still have a full kitchen. I still have a living room, fireplace. I still have a big, bathroom, walk-in showers. So I think where the myth is, where people get lost, is thinking that it's too small. You just have to be more efficient of where you put everything. And it's actually becoming more affordable. And I'm seeing a lot more people come into this shift, making this shift because it's better quality of life.
Right. So when we talk about size, what are some of the non-negotiables that you see customers over and over again say, hey, I can maybe live with a smaller bathroom, or I can maybe live with a smaller bedroom. But what are some of the non-negotiables that we at Saddlebrook make sure that the customer still has, but they can live without some other things, but they cannot live without these things? What are those non-negotiables that when a customer comes in, why are they choosing, number one, why are they choosing us to see, hey, is this something that we can live in? But then they're also saying, hey, I can live without this, but I can't live without that.
Most times it comes down to simple things like a refrigerator. You're talking about a tiny home. Do I have to have one of those little refrigerators, or do I get the one with the French doors, or a little bit bigger refrigerator? A lot of people think tiny home, they're going to think, hey, I'm gonna have this small refrigerator, or they're thinking tiny home where they're, hey, I'm gonna go into this restroom and it's like an RV camper restroom where I don't have enough room. We put the towels, basically tile showers inside of our tiny homes, modular housing, and it's room. But some of the things that people are saying, hey, I can actually deal with this, is the smaller space, saying, hey, I don't need a 5-bedroom house, or I don't need this big bedroom where I'm actually not even using that much space. I just need to fit my king size bed in there. We can do that. People are saying, hey, it actually fits.
So what I'm getting at is they're telling you, hey, instead of a 4-bedroom, they'll go down to a 2-bedroom,
All they need,
but they'll have the same size kitchen or maybe bigger.
maybe bigger.
We don't use cheap Formica countertops. We don't use cheap particle cabinets. So we use good quality cabinets, quartz or granite countertops. So we go the extra mile to make sure that when you walk into this house, it feels elegant. We use cathedral ceilings. That's another thing that makes our homes feel a lot bigger. If you walk into a mobile home, they're all 8-foot drop ceilings. Well, that makes you feel crowded and makes you feel the space is a lot smaller. So how we elevate our houses is we go with the cathedral ceilings. Well, your ceiling might be 12 foot to the peak. That makes the whole entire room a lot bigger, right? And they're also saying, hey, Kyler's, I don't need an extra 3 bedrooms that I have to clean every month, or I have to pay a cleaner, because now I can't do everything myself. It takes 3 days just to clean my house. What they're saying is, hey, I want a full-size kitchen. I need a full-size refrigerator. Hey, what about my stove palette? What kind of stoves do we use? Do we use gas stoves? Do we use tiny home stoves? Do we use cooktop stoves? What kind of stoves do we use? Microwaves? Does it come with microwaves? And also talk about the laundry room. The thing that I hear about the most is that, do we only get these small, compact, stackable washer and dryers? Can you talk about what we do here at Saddlebrook?
Right. Here's the truth. Most of us have been conditioned that more square footage equals more comfort. That's what most Americans have been conditioned to, as far as how big of a house do I want versus how big of a house do I actually need. The more square footage I have, the more it costs to heat and cool it, the more it costs to manage it, the more it costs to put furniture in it, because you're having to fill up this space. So if you compact into a 1,200 square feet, 1,500 square feet, or even 800 square feet, you can fit a lot of it in. Just like, let's start with the kitchen. Where your house that you have now, which is maybe 4,000 square feet, built back in 10, 15 years ago, you probably don't have quartz granite countertop,
Or 100 years.
or 100 years ago, whatever it is. You probably don't have stainless steel appliances, top grade, lifetime warranty on them. You probably don't have those things because you have to finish the amount of square footage, and it just doesn't make sense. The same as the laundry rooms. The laundry rooms, you get a full-size washer and dryer, stainless steel. Everything is up to new standards, very luxury. You get a cabinet with big countertop space for all your stuff. Some of these laundry rooms, kitchens, and bedrooms are actually bigger than most houses. You just don't have all the wasted space, like the hallways, the living room that's overspaced, all the things that you're heating, cooling, that are way bigger. But again, we've been conditioned as Americans that think that more square footage equals more comfort, and that's what we've gotten used to. But I'm seeing a lot more saying, hey, we can go compact it into smaller space. It doesn't take as much to heat and cool it because we use spray foam insulation. And now I could spend more money on my kitchen. I could spend more money on having luxury appliances, washer and dryer, big refrigerators, and the things that actually matter. That's what I'm looking at, and that's what people are switching over to.
So what I'm hearing is we have full-size appliances with a lifetime warranty, which not many companies carry a lifetime warranty on all appliances. That's comes standard with all of our houses that are furnished with appliances. But also what I'm hearing is, one thing that I heard you say is the efficiency of the HVAC system. We spend so much money every year. So what happens when an HVAC system of a 100-year-old home goes out? Anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, depending on what gave out. Then the ductworks need to be clean. Then you might have mold in the ductwork. So now you have to have, an expert for mold come in. All of these things that keep just adding up. Versus when you go with us, how much square footage are you actually cooling or heating that's never even being used? So now that's money down the drain every single month. Otherwise, but you have to heat it because it's part of the house. So how much more are you adding every single month to your house bill, house payment, your electric bill, your water bill, versus if you just actually downsized and got smarter with your investments versus going at the same old house, the insulation is bad. How many times do you need to insulate the attics? Or how many times is the floor, if it's a older house, does it have pier and beam? Is that insulated? So now in the wintertime, we got cold winters, all of that heat is going down, or all the cold air is coming up. So now your HVAC is having to work twice as hard just to either heat or cool your house, just for the fact of, your luxury of living. I don't like a hot house or I don't like a cold house. I like mine around 70 degrees. So with a brand new house with state-of-the-art efficiency versus a 100-year-old house, it could mean hundreds of dollars on your electric bill.
Right. Which, and let's just say you're saving, you go from a 4,000 square foot home, you're heating and cooling it, your electric bill is some of these older houses, your electric bills are getting
$600 to
$1,000 electric bills, versus saying, hey, if I wanted to say $600 a month, that's 80, what is that, 8,400? No, 76 times 12.
I think he needs to go back. I need to go
back to school. Whatever that number is, what if you spent that money going on vacation, taking care of your family, but you're doing actually what actually matters? That's what it comes down to. What is it actually like? How do you start getting along with the times where, like, the truth is, we've been conditioned a certain way. Now I'm seeing it come in where modular housing, which is what we build, where we're bringing modern, where they're looking modernized, they're efficient, they're smaller space, they're cathedral ceilings. You're getting everything that you want, and you're saving a lot of money along the way.
And even if you talk about efficiency and how we design all of our houses, you're getting state-of-the-art electrical. So all LED lighting, which if you know anything about electrical, LED lighting takes literally no power every month, maybe a couple dollars a month for your LED lighting. Everything adds up. So what if you could save a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there? Number one, your cost of living goes way down. Your average lifestyle can go way up because now you're saving all of this money. Like you said, hey, my parents need extra money, now I have it. Hey, my parents had a hospital bill and we have no money to pay for it. Versus now you have money set back. I want to take my family on vacation. No, I can because my house is not taking everything up. Repairs. We're not even talking about 100-year-old house repairs every year. And the bad deal is, Kyler, that if you don't repair that house like it's much needed, then when you get time to sell it, it's not worth anything.
Right.
Because then the sellers right now, it's a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. So in a seller's market, any house that you have will just automatically sell with all the flaws. But right now it's a buyer's market because, one, the interest rates. The feds have not lowered their interest rates down. So when a buyer goes into the market, they're like, hey, that needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed, and that needs to be fixed. You have a 20-year-old shingle, I need it replaced before I buy the house. Well, what choice do you have because you need out of that house?
Right.
So now you've got to put a $15,000 brand new roof on it. Hey, my HVAC, I need it serviced. $1,500. Hey, my electrical panel needs to be upgraded.
And these things are happening every day.
Every day.
And
when you talk about remodeling, I mean, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars just to get it up to state of the art, which it needs to be before you sell it. If not, the buyers will automatically say, hey, it's going to cost me $50,000 to upgrade that. So I'm going to offer you $50,000 less than what you're selling it for.
Right.
Why? Because right now it's a buyer's market. So when we're talking about space, downsizing, if you're a new homeowner, or if you're in your late 50s, 60s, 70s, and just honestly cannot afford, or it's just too much space, that's what we're here for. We're here for people that, hey, I want to spend more time traveling than actually being at home. Well, if I'm at 60 years old and I want to travel the world, but then I have a $1,000 electric bill because you can't have a house over the summer not be cooled down. Everything goes to nothing. So now I'm spending an extra $1,000 a month just in electric bills just to make sure that my house is still there when I get back.
Right.
So that's what we're seeing is a lot of these people are coming in saying, hey, I want to put my parents in this house. Well, then they ask the question, Can we put a ADA shower in? Absolutely. Can we have 36-inch doorways? Absolutely. Can we put handicap porch ramps on the front of it? Absolutely. So when people think small, they think crowded. They think, as big as this room, it's tight. We can't even fit a wheelchair in. My grandma right now is not in a wheelchair yet, but in the next 10 years, she's going to be in a wheelchair. So is that going to be big enough for her to be in a wheelchair in the house? Absolutely. But we can put luxury things as electric fireplaces. Your grandmother might have never had an electric fireplace with a TV, man.
Now she can, because now she affordability, right, part of it.
And the other thing is this. If you're a Bible reader or anything like that, if you read anything in the Bible, it talks about, I think the number one value of life is family.
True.
Is the people that you love the most. How much time are you getting to spend with them? What if you have a dad and a mom that
just want to move them closer?
You want them to move closer, because in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to have extra work taking care of them. So why not rather spend that time, put it in on some acres near you or in your backyard or anything that you can, and now you get to spend extra time with them while they're still here. I've never heard a person one time say, "Hey, I wish that I didn't spend as much time
with my parents,
which is when they were there," which is true.
Because if you're trying to downsize, you're trying to save money, but you're trying to get them closer. It's about spending that quality time with them. I think that's the biggest myth that has been told is, I think tiny homes are too small. I think because the word is 399 square feet, but that's completely not what we build. We build all the way up to, big 1,800 square foot homes, but the biggest one is 1,200 square feet. 1,200 square feet is a lot of room.
A lot of room.
Like, it is a lot. It's actually, if you go on our TikTok or Instagram, I go on there and just watch those videos. But even the 800 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath home, that has been taking over. Like, that's the most popular one that we have, is between 800 to 1,200 square feet. Because that's what people, when they come in, I can go show them a 2,000 square foot home, and then I can go look at a 1,200 square foot home, because we spend so much time looking at our floor plans, designing our floor plans to make them as efficient as we possibly can.
And before we end the podcast, the only thing I want to say also is a big thing that investors are coming to us to. So instead of, investing millions of dollars into apartments, into duplexes, they're going with our models. Why? Number one, your ROI on our investment is twice as good. You still can rent it out, because this is what it's becoming a renter's market for the investors, for real estate developers, investors, stuff like that. So your cost for development is half, right? So your horizontal cost is half, your vertical cost is half. But when you're doing your horizontal planning and developing, we're doing the vertical already. And so now your time to market is cut in half, but then your investment is more. So that's why these investors are even going to these and saying, "Hey, I need a 3-2 for a family. I can get $1,500 a month in rent for half the initial investment cost. Now your return on investment is double than it would have been on an apartment complex or triplex or duplexes that would have taken a year to complete. And I'm also earning an extra 6 to 8 months of cash flow versus if I would have just went and built on site." Just a vertical on-site development.
And we're helping. This is who we're helping. We're helping retirees, families get into homes where they used to not being able to afford a new home. But we're also helping investors get into these rental markets. Like, let's say I'm an investor, and I had this small town that's maybe in the middle of nowhere, but they need 100 rentals. What's going to happen if the small town has nothing built? You're going to be lacking contractors. If you have some contractors, there's going to be very few of them. And who can you trust?
They're going to be slow.
And they're going to be slow. And the cost of them that was going to be very high, versus saying, "Hey, I want to do modular because I can move them in under 6 months. I can have a project up and going, be rented out, and then boom, get on to the next project." That is what we're doing, is we're bringing the affordability back into the market, but not just affordability, speed and efficiency. That is what we're doing, is we're helping families, retirees, investors back into this market to be able to invest in a time that we are right now, which it is going back to a rental market because of the
high cost of living, right? The high cost of the house. I did see right now, year to date, the average median home price has still went up every month over month. it is not going down.
Right.
And so that it's just putting average Americans out of a house.
Right.
It's putting first-time homeowners out of a house. And so that concludes our podcast. And that is why size isn't the problem here at Saddlebrook. And that's just one of the myths that we hear every day is, hey, it's not big enough.
Yeah. Hey, I challenge you guys to come check us out. Come check out our factory here in DeKalb, Texas. Check out the size. Go on our TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, and you can see all these videos of us actually doing a walkthrough, and you can actually see what it actually feels like. And then, yeah, come into our factory, and we'll give you a full tour, and we'll show you how everything's built, because they're built up to modular standards, which are like a stick-built home, even better. So, yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, guys.